Good morning, church. I'm glad we have this time together. Today we're studying when Jesus asked Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" One of my favorite movies of all time is Fiddler on the Roof. It has everything: humor and tragedy, love and hate, hope and struggle, tradition and change. And the background is pre-revolutionary Russia and the story of a small town where peasant Jewish families live. So the movie has a historic background, and I love history. And it has a great score, great music, great words, great dialogue. You remember the song, "If I were a rich man, da 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 da." That took courage. A great but lesser known song in the movie is "Do You Love Me?" In a time of changing traditions, 2 of the 5 daughters of Tevye and Goldie decide to marry somebody they love instead of somebody the matchmaker has picked out for them, somebody that their parents have not picked out for them. So as Tevye and his wife Goldie try to understand this unfamiliar concept of marrying for love, Tevye asks Goldie, "Do you love me?" Goldie calls Tevye a fool. She accuses him of having indigestion. She said, "Lie down and take a nap." But Tevye reminds her of the day they met, which was their wedding day, the first day they met. And he said, "I was so nervous, but my mother and father told me that we would grow to love each other. So I'm asking you, do you love me?" All right. Andy? Sandra? All right.
Golda? Do you love me?
Do I what?
Do you love me?
Do I love you? With our daughters getting married and this trouble in the town, you're upset, you're worn out. Go inside, go lie down. Maybe it's indigestion.
Golda, I'm asking you a question. Do you love me?
You're a fool.
I know, but do you love me?
Do I love you? For 25 years I've washed your clothes, cooked your meals, cleaned your house, given you children, milked a cow. After 25 years, why talk about love right now?
The first time I met you was on our wedding day. I was scared.
I was shy.
I was nervous.
So was I.
But my father and my mother said we'd learn to love each other. So, Golda, I'm asking you a question. Do you love me?
I'm your wife.
Well, do you love me?
For 25 years I've lived with him, fought with him, starved with him. 25 years my bed is his. If that's not love, what is?
Then you love me.
I suppose I do.
Then I suppose I love you too.
It doesn't change a thing, but even so, after 25 years, it's nice to know.
We ask that question, "Do you love me?" so many times in our lives. We ask our parents, our children, our friends, our boyfriends and girlfriends, our husband, our wife. When I read about Jesus newly risen from the grave, asking Peter not one, not two, but 3 times, "Do you love me?" it reminds me of this song from Fiddler on the Roof. And when it's not set to music, when somebody asks you the same question over and over, it may get annoying. Remember, Mommy, 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 Mommy. Well, in fact, Peter does show a little bit of aggravation and hurt because Jesus keeps asking him, "Peter, do you love me?" And Peter, exasperated, finally says, "Lord, you know everything. You know I love you." The scene is classic. It's told by the Apostle John, who was an eyewitness of the resurrected Jesus. We read in John 21:1 that Bill read a while ago, "After these things, Jesus showed himself again to the disciples." Jesus didn't just show himself, he revealed himself. This was after the ministry of Jesus, after his death, after his resurrection. He reveals himself as the risen Son of God. Jesus is alive. And so, showed would be the 3rd time in John that he does show himself. He reveals himself. The first time in chapter 20, Mary coming to the tomb to visit the tomb of Jesus is disturbed. The stone is rolled away and Jesus is gone. She sees a man in the garden, not recognizing him, and he asks her, "Mary, why are you crying? Who are you looking for?" "Mary, it's me, Jesus." And then later in that chapter, we find Jesus appearing to his disciples in the upper room, not once but twice. The first time Thomas wasn't there, and they said, "Thomas, we have seen the Lord. He's alive." And Thomas says, "I've got to see this to believe it." So Jesus comes back, and Jesus says to Thomas, "Look at me. Look at my hands, feeling my side. Now believe, Thomas." And Thomas says, "My Lord and my God." Now, in chapter 21, Jesus reveals himself to his disciples at the Sea of Galilee. And there's at least 7 of them. And they're some 50 miles, 80 miles from Jerusalem. And we don't know when they went, how they got there, but they are away from Jerusalem and they don't know what to do. They're lost. Their leader's not with them. It's after Good Friday and Easter. They're on their home turf. There is named Peter, Thomas, Nathaniel, James, John, and 2 more. And not knowing what to do, they fall back in their old patterns. And Peter said, "I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going fishing." And so they all go fishing. They take their boats out. They fished all night. So they do what they can do while they're waiting for something to do. They just don't know what to do. Well, what did they catch? They didn't catch anything. Absolutely nothing. They come back tired, dirty, sleepy, uninspired, depressed, empty-handed. And as they were coming in, here's the story in John 21. It's the crack of dawn. It's dark. Maybe it's foggy. The guys are tired from fishing all night. And somebody on the beach 100 yards away, 300 feet away, has the audacity to say, "Hey guys, you catch anything?" They said, "No, we've been out all night. We hadn't caught a thing." And the man says, "Well, just throw your net over on the right side and I believe you'll catch some fish." They caught so many fish they couldn't pull the net in. And John said to Peter, "Hey, I think that is the Lord." And Peter jumped up and runs, swims to the shore. But John's remembering another incident when they fished all night. Early in the ministry of Jesus, when he calls his first apostles in Luke chapter 5, we find Jesus standing by the sea. He's teaching. There's so many people pressing in on him, he has nowhere to go. So there's 2 guys that have been fishing. They have a boat, and he asks one of the guys, "Peter, can I get in your boat?" He gets in his boat, and he's standing or sitting in the boat while he's teaching the people on the seashore. After he gets finished teaching, he tells Peter, "Come on, let's go out a little bit deeper, and I believe we'll catch some fish." And Peter said, "We have fished all night. We haven't caught a thing. We're tired. We want to go home. We're cleaning up the boats. We're repairing the nets. But if you say so," he evidently heard something that Jesus said that made him think, this guy's something special. "But if you say so, we'll fish." And they pulled in a lot of fish. The nets couldn't hold them all. The nets were broken. And when Simon Peter and the others saw it, they were amazed. And then Jesus told them, "Don't be afraid. From now on, you won't be fishing for fish. You'll be fishing for people." Now, they get to the shore. They saw a charcoal fire. And there is Jesus cooking fish and cooking bread. And Jesus said, you want some breakfast? And so they gather around the fire and they eat. Jesus is cooking. Now we're getting to the action and the point of the story. The night that Jesus was on trial, there was another charcoal fire in the courtyard of the high priest. And it was there that Peter denied Jesus 3 times in Mark chapter 14. Peter was in the courtyard. One of the female servants of the high priest saw Peter warming himself, and she said, you were with Jesus, man from Nazareth. And he said, I don't know him. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, the female servant saw him again. She began to say to all the other people, this man was with Jesus. And Peter said, no, I don't know him. And then the bystanders began to say, you were with Jesus because you talk like somebody from Galilee. And we find Peter began to curse and he swore an oath. I don't know the man you're talking about. And then the rooster crowed for the second time. Peter remembered what Jesus told him and he went out and wept bitterly. This resurrection story is about Peter, who previously denied knowing Jesus 3 times. And now he's asked by Jesus 3 times, do you love me? Do you know me? Do you believe in me? Jesus asked Peter the first time, do you love me more than these? Is he talking about, do you love me more than these fishing boats? Do you love me more than fishing? Do you love me more than your buddies? Do you love me more than fish for breakfast? Why did Peter deny knowing Jesus in the first place? I think just like probably most of us, if not all of us would have, we're trying to save our life. Peter loved his life. He wasn't ready to die. He loved the things of life. He wasn't ready to give these things up. His friends, his job, his family, his fishing. And we, just like Peter, though, will come to a time in our life when Jesus asks us, do you love me more than these? Well, Peter replies, Lord, you know I love you. Well, that's good. He's getting the point of this thing. Peter has gotten it right. And so Jesus tells Peter, if you love me, feed my lambs. Then Jesus asked Peter the second time, Peter, do you love me? Either Jesus is unsure about Peter's loyalty, or maybe he wants Peter to be sure of what he's stating, he believes. Carefully consider your answer, Peter. I'm asking you, do you love me? This is like Tevye asking Goldie again and again, do you love me? Looking for reassurance. Peter again says, yes, Lord, you know I love you. And then Jesus asked Peter the third time, Peter, do you love me? And Peter, exasperated, says, Lord, you know everything. You know I love you. And each time, Jesus says, then feed my lambs, tend my sheep, feed my sheep. And Jesus concludes, just as he did in Luke 5 when he first called Peter and the other apostles, follow me. Feed my lambs, tend my sheep, feed my sheep, follow me. That's what the resurrected Jesus wants from Peter. That's what the resurrected Jesus wants from us. That's what Jesus wants from each of us. He wants Peter and us to live out our love, not just to say, I love you, but to prove it. It's not enough to tell somebody you love them and you never do anything for them. You never live out that love. You never prove your love. Jesus and all of us want the I love yous in our life to mean something. That's why Tevye keeps asking Goldie, do you love me? And Jesus keeps asking us, do you love me? We tell the people we love, I love you, and that's important. And it's great to be loved and to love. The story is a good reminder for us to start every day and to live our days telling the people that we love them. And to start our day every day by saying, I love you, Jesus. Help me to live out my love for you. Speak through me, work through me. Let me be your person because I love you, Jesus. So, do you love me? Jesus asked. Amen.